Nehemiah chapter 3 is a preacher's worst nightmare. All we have in Nehemiah 3 are names, most of which I cannot pronounce, in geographical locations, most of which I don't know where they are. This is the type of chapter you might read a few verses in, only to throw on the towel and skip ahead to the next chapter. But during my study this week, I discovered that chapter 3 isn't a nightmare, it's a blessing. And I hope you will be blessed by the message it communicates as well. Thus far, the narrative has been all about Nehemiah. We read about Nehemiah's burden, Nehemiah's prayers, Nehemiah's risk, Nehemiah's travels, Nehemiah's vision, but Nehemiah isn't mentioned one time in chapter 3. The focus shifts off of the leader and onto the team. And the team consists of a diverse group of people. We have priests, government officials, bakers, goldsmiths, perfume makers, families, maybe even some non-Jewish people. And to each was given a different task. Some rebuilt walls, some rebuilt gates, some were even given large sections, and some were given small sections. Some sections needed repairing, and some needed to be completely redone. But God united a diverse community and equipped them to accomplish the task. It's a beautiful picture of how God continues to unite and equip all of us, the church, to build the kingdom of God. Jesus said we are the salt of the earth, the light of the world, the city on a hill. And as citizens of God's kingdom, this is our common mission and purpose. When the world sees and hears us, they should get a taste of what God is like. Well, wherever we go, we should be lighting up the path for someone to see God. And we should be the people a dark and fallen world can look up to for hope. This is not something that any of us are purposed to do alone. As diverse as we are, God fits us all together to build His kingdom and accomplish His mission. It's pretty amazing God used bakers, perfume makers, and priests to build a wall. Now, I doubt they had much experience in this field. But if we look closely, we can see the genius of this plan and why it worked so well. We're told in verse 28, above the horse gate, which was near the temple area, that the priest rebuilt the wall, each in front of his own home. Now that's very interesting to me, because put yourself in their shoes. You live in a small city. There are several very powerful nations with strong armies surrounding your city. And the only thing standing between you and these armies is a wall. Now let's say one of these armies was to attack the city. Where would you want the wall to be well fortified and strong? Probably right in front of your own home. And this is the genius of the plan. Although the people were inexperienced and untrained, they were assigned sections of the wall they would be most motivated to fortify. Sections where they had the most to lose if the wall was breached, but the most to gain if it held together. This ensured every person would do the best job that they could do. But this was only step one. For the wall to be completed, they had to connect their sections with the sections on their left and on their right. They had to collaborate with one another to make the parts whole. Each group or family was assigned a task, a section different from the rest. But each task and section must rely on the others who were working to complete the same goal, one fortified, completed wall. For the people of Israel in Nehemiah's day and subsequent generations, the real physical wall was very important. But for us, the wall is a symbol of how God equips and chooses the most unlikely people to accomplish seemingly impossible tasks. And as your group walks through chapter 3 together, I want to remind everyone the emphasis is not on Nehemiah, but on all the community in Israel. This is not a you text, this is a y'all text. It's very corporate in its nature. So think about this. What is God equipping us, First Church, to do? What seemingly impossible task might be on our horizon? And remember, if God is for us, who can be against us?